All right, folks, so we are getting this 445 ready. The 455 died, and I will provide no more details on that, but this 445 is available through my buddy Thomas Foraker, who runs VGI, Vintage Green Iron. And however, some of his stuff is, he gets older stuff, so, and that's what we're dealing with right now. This is not one of the things he's selling, but it is one of the things that we are trying to get working here. And a couple of these valves are the issue. Or not the valves, well, it might be the valves. The couplers are the kind of questionable here. So squirt them down with some PB Blaster and then see if we can get them to rotate. Oh gosh, jeez, did I just break the tool? Yeah, I think I did. Wow. Okay, well, won't go on that gear anymore. Look at that, see? I don't know if you can tell. Shiny part there? Right here? I probably blocked the light when I did that. Anyway, that's probably not going to work anymore. Maybe I need vice grips. I don't know. We'll try again here. So I'm trying to hook up the little bull loader again to this machine. And these vice grips are kind of not that good either. I mean, like every tool you grab sometimes is the wrong one or broken. That is kind of where I'm at right now. Golly. Just can't win. I'll try that. Oh, now it's too far. Okay. Nope. I am probably doing more damage than good here. Get a little bit tighter. Right, this thing. Oh my gosh. Get that too tight. Okay. No, that is just not working. And the other thing we can do is maybe get a socket that goes around the outside but without the inside of it and just kind of hammer it. Might do that next. Well, it's just sitting on the axle, so we'll see how long this camera stays here when I hammer this stuff. Huh? You want to go up a size. Actually, that's working pretty good. That is a 13/16 socket. Yep. So I think that moved a little bit. You can tell both those, they're further pushed in than these two. So we'll see if we can get those worked up. I'm not going to necessarily put that on the calendar the video. Hey folks, so this is part of the prep as well. When I tear apart a tractor, I'm not really tearing it apart. I'm just trying to get it ready for the loader. So we've done a couple of these couplers. I still have a couple more that I'm going to switch out that last one. And we installed the shutoff valve right here. We had a busted, as you can see here, is a busted fuel line, which I have a replacement for. And this is a 445, so it's high pressure, but look how disgusting this thing is. So we're going to use some super clean And I'm gonna, as you can see here, you're gonna see the before pictures, before the super clean, and then we will hit the after pictures as well. But just really grimy, like everywhere. And tractors, you know, I mean, they do dirty work, so you get this with tractors. Nothing crazy here, just normal stuff, just clumps of stuff everywhere. And we're gonna spray it down and then just hose it down. We're not gonna scrub it down at all. So just, you know, wanted to show you this, and then I will show you the application, and then we'll do the after result as well. Okay, folks, so it's about to sprinkle, so I'm gonna douse this with our super clean here. And this stuff, they've sent me a bunch of different products. One of them was a wheel cleaner. I didn't think their wheel cleaner was that great, but I don't think anybody's wheel cleaner is that great, so I just don't use wheel cleaner on my cars. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. It's not any worse than any other one that I've had, but it's just not any better than any one I've had. So it's like, I think this stuff works really good, the degreaser here, the foaming or the otherwise. And now it's of course raining because I waited too long for this to do this job. Now it says you can't have this stuff dry on here, so we're gonna, even though it's about to rain, we're just gonna go with this and not worry too much about it. Okay, so I don't know if you can tell, probably in the video, you probably can't, but it's raining now, so that's gonna be watching that also. We're about to hit it there. You can't let it dry anyways. You don't wanna smell this stuff. It's kind of nasty. Like real nasty. It's almost like Wesley's bleach white or something. Might be like a sort of a similar-ish product. But anyways, we'll hit that with the hose real quick there. I have it run through the workshop. I have to come up with a better arrangement or a longer hose. So anyways, we'll get to wiping that stuff off shortly here. All right, folks, so I had to drag it back in, but you can see, I mean, it's wet, so it obviously looks shinier now, but you can see there's a lot less dirt and grime. And unlike a lot of things that I've had to scrub on there, see, I missed this spot. Getting up under there, that's okay. But as you can see, it's quite a bit cleaner than it was. Big mess in the shop now because it was raining outside. But, you know, you can actually see the cylinder heads are a different color than the rest of the dark black stuff that everything else is. But, you know, that's much cleaner. All this is much cleaner. Still a little bit of grime in there. Anywhere I was able to spray it, I tried to spray the frame rails. The pump, power steering pump, is kind of still dirty. I don't really attack that too well. So, and then that's much cleaner. And then up under here is a good bit cleaner too, as you can see. So, I mean, I think the super clean stuff, they sent it to me once, and after I used it a couple times, man, I was sold. So it's actually pretty good, and we'll get the rest of this tractor together so we can use it for that LBL loader, little buck loader, for the 4X5 series. Do a few more videos on that, but there's things to do. So as mentioned, we do have two that probably will work along with this one. My buddy dropped off a bunch of them, and the funny part is he dropped off like 7. All I needed was 1, but all these in here are just going to sit there and soak for a while because they're just so disgusting. Let's see, I don't think we can really see in there, not enough light, but these are gross. I think after sitting a week or two, they'll be, hopefully some of them will be functional, but if not, then that's okay. And then once we finish this gas line, which of course there's always an issue with these tractors, you know, this thing busted off. I mean, this is the new one. This is the busted off piece. And that just goes to show you, you know, dealing with old tractors. That busted. And then of course getting those couplers to work. We should have 4 now. Then we're gonna mount these D-rings right here. Let's see here. To the side of the tractor right here. I think it's like right, oh shoot, hold on. All right, once I use the right tools, these long, like double jointed pliers, the thing slip right off, but as you can see right there, some more cleaning is going to be involved with some carb cleaner or such to get that not so nasty looking. Then we'll hook up the gas line and we'll start her up, see if she works. All right, so we are hooked up. I believe that is secure. I guess one way we could find out was to oh, maybe I don't have the brake in or something. But we'll figure that out. I didn't hear the pumps click on, so we'll see about that.
This was just a quick stop and break for nature. I thought this was pretty cool, so I decided to throw it in the video. But that was one of the strongest rainbows I've ever seen.
Wow, it's so pretty.
Okay, so I didn't get all of the extracurricular on the video, but I did take off both valve covers because they, I don't know, we maybe had a stuck valve and just was able to work them with my hand, and now pretty good. So we'll get some better gasoline in there, because this gasoline smells horrid, and hopefully everything will be fine. So one last thing that you're probably going to have to do if you have one of these older tractors and you're trying to hook up a loader is that top piece right here is already probably lubricated, because he has the 3-point hitch on here, but that's also the deck lift, and that's also stays the top one over there. But a lot of times you're gonna have to lubricate this bottom one, this one right here, and then tap it with a little hammer, not too crazy, just a little bit, and it'll work. So as you can see, that moves, and then now this moves a little bit. It doesn't have to move a lot. I can't really do it that well. But anyways, that was another thing that needed to be done. So we pretty much should be ready to hook up the loader now. So I'll move on to that, and then the tractor should be ready to go. So folks, so here is that's where what the hole is for on the pan, so we can put this valve through. And it rotates pretty easily with my fingers, although there's supposed to be like almost like a valve for like a toilet on there, kind of that thing. I don't know why it's supposed to spin that much. But anyway, so we'll get that, hopefully we'll find something we can throw on there, and that cuts off the 3-point hitch. So then the only valves that are working are right here, which will have the loader dealies on them, and we'll get that squared away shortly here. And as you can see here, we don't have anything telling us which valves these are or which couplers they are. However, we did keep the other pan, at least for now, and it does have the color coded there, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is yellow, gray, black, and green. So we'll just use this as our thing when we hook up the loader, our indicator, so then we know how to do that. Okay folks, so one thing I kind of breezed over was the taking off the valve covers, which I was checking to see if there was a stuck valve, because the thing just wouldn't show. Maybe I can get a clip of the engine not running and there would be a loud like release of compression. So we think that one of the valves was stuck. Well, I took off both valve covers. There's only 4 bolts for each one. They're really easy. 10 millimeter, I believe, is what they are. Of course they are, right? Everything's 10 millimeter. I was able to move them manually. Sometimes you'll need to spray them down with some penetrating oil and use like a, light hammer taps. But it was easily to actuate the valves, just by doing that. It was no big deal. But the push rods will fall off. This is a push rod engine. It's overhead valve engine, so there's push rods. You just need to make sure the push rods are back on the valves, or on the lifters rather. And otherwise, the engine probably won't run at all if you don't have the push rods on the lifters. And so it runs fine now. I mean, mostly fine. It still has that crappy gas in it, so we're going to have to try to work that through, and hopefully I'll be able to do that in the next couple of days. But right now we're going to move on to the 3-point, and I'll show you what we're doing there. It's nothing special. It's just I got to switch out some arms and a top link. So, well, hey buddy, how you doing? All right, folks. So this is a category 0 hitch. So these arms, I don't know if you can, let me see. These arms are kind of straight. Sorry about the camera angles here. See, they're kind of straight, where these are significantly curved. Oops. These are significantly curved. So like, oh gosh, I'm gonna do that. All right, so if it's not clear, I have a new tripod that I'm working out with, and it's not working out. I mean, it is kind of working out, but anyway. But this is a Cat 1 hitch that I'm going to use, because that's everything I have is Cat 1. So so I can use it both on the garden tractor and the 1 Series. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take these off, and I think we're going to take them off right here at the bolt. Now I might have to expand this a little bit, which might be fun because they look like they're pretty thick metal. But I believe this is quite a bit thicker than these. So I don't know how else to do this, because this has this style. It doesn't have a slip-on. Like this is a slip-on with the eye bolt right here, as you can see. So it's a different style of 3-point. And then the top link is easy enough to figure out, but you can see the difference in the top links. This one's going to be quite a bit longer. And also the holes are probably bigger. Like this is probably like a 7/8. That might be like a 5/8 or 3/4, something like that. Whatever. I potentially measure and kind of give you the stats on that if I get around to it. We'll see. And but it shouldn't be too much effort. They unclip at the bottom. They have the same exact bottom where they just have this, clevis, and then the pin comes out like that. So that's the easy part. This is probably going to be less fun. Okay, so we easily have whatever that thing is, like it's like drawbar or whatever you want to call it. I have it upside down right now. That came off pretty easily. That does go on, that pin anyways. And then this pin is for the larger, like Cat 1 size stuff. There's a sleeve in there. I think I have a sleeve in there to make it cover up the distance for here, because I think the category 1s are bigger than the category 0 again, kind of like the pins. Those are the arms. Again, you can see the arms lift way out. So we're going to take these things off. Those are on, so we're making some progress, but now we're about to do the hard part, or what I think is going to be the hard part. Is we're trying to put these, or they might have to angle out or something to slide in there. We'll just have to kind of, that looks like it fits a lot better than I thought it would. So maybe this will be easier. Who knows? We'll see. So does anybody else do what I do? I kind of dread a job a little bit, and then I procrastinate on the job a bit, and then I actually do the job, and then it's super easy. So these things not only came out really well on both units, but also went in really well. In fact, that is, even though I know that is gotta be thicker than this, there's no doubt, but I guess these were kind of loose maybe. I don't know, but anyways, that went right on. I got the pin in here, so this is fine, so we can hook up the ballast box. So that's why we needed this Cat 1, is because we need to hook up a ballast box. So if we're gonna have a loader, we're gonna have a ballast box. And so now I'll probably install the loader, and then we'll get this thing, we'll put the ballast box on, and then we'll get this thing working. All right, guys, so I'm not gonna lie, like, you know, that went really well, but then, you know, not only did I procrastinate, but now I'm thinking, okay, so what is gonna go not so well next, right? Like, I just can't take a success. I think, like, with these old tractors, you're like, okay, what is gonna go wrong next? You know, so I don't know. We'll find out. Hopefully nothing. Hopefully this is just a nice little success and we can move on for more successes. We'll see. But that's not how old tractors always go. So we'll see how it goes. And another thing for you folks that are maybe not have not dealt with this before. Oh, the sleeve is stuck in there. All right, there we go. Is that I was talking about the difference between a Cat 0 and a Cat 1. So a lot of times the difference is on the how much distance the top link is, but that's not the main thing, I wouldn't say, because a lot of times you can adjust those, slap one in, use the sleeve or something like that. But the other thing is, you can see the width there. The width on a Cat 0, I believe, is 20 inches from side to side, and on a Cat 1, it's either 26 or 27. So it's significantly larger, 6 to 7 inches wider. All right, folks, I think that will conclude this video. I pretty much have everything squared away, ready to install the loader, so I will probably do another video for that. Probably deserves its own video anyway, but this one is also kind of long in the tooth at 20-something minutes. So, you know, that is getting this old tractor ready. You know, I thought it would just be a few easy things, and a few easy things never end up being just a few easy things, but we're there. We have everything installed, including this stuff back, and the 3-point hitch is ready to go. So there's not much to do. So anyways, thanks for kind of coming along with me on getting this thing ready. If you've, you know, lasted this long in the video, I appreciate that. If you liked the video, hit the like button. I appreciate that as well. And if you wanted to learn more about John Deere garden tractors and the John Deere 1 Series, you can hit the subscribe button as well. Thanks for watching. Bye.